All right, what's up, YouTube? This is BoxingWave. If you're a first-time viewer, I have a boxing channel. This is a boxing channel, okay? About a month ago, I made a video discussing the stock market and cryptocurrencies, okay? I've never done a video like that before. I had this channel for 4 years and never spoke on it before. It was a surprise to a lot of my subscribers because they had no idea I was into it, okay? Um, so, a lot of people are requesting videos now, and I want to do videos because I want to pass along the information, okay, on how to day trade, and give you, some advice, okay. I haven't been doing it for that long. I've only been doing it for 6 months, but I do it daily. I do it aggressively, okay. And I want to pass along the information. I'm still learning myself. Okay, I taught myself. All right, I didn't take any courses or anything. I did my own researching and I got into it myself. But this video here is going to be an introduction. Okay, the first half of this video, I'm going to talk about myself. Okay, I'm going to be a little personal here. All right, because I want you guys to have some kind of idea of my motives of day trading and getting into the stock market. I want you guys to trust me, okay? And then I'm going to talk about why I started day trading, what motivated me, what pushed me to this. So I'm going to talk about a lot of that in this video, okay? And then later in the video, I'm going to start giving some tips and some details about the stock market. There's so much I can talk about, but I'm going to try to do these videos where they're like podcasts. They're going to be just me talking, casually, to you guys. They're not going to be like boxing videos, I'm just going to talk casual to you guys, let you know a lot about myself, okay? And, just let me know, based on the feedback, I'll continue making videos if you want me to do more. Or, if it's not really that much, the feedback, maybe I'll stop, depends. I really was thinking, since I did that one video, I was kind of thinking of how I was going to do these videos. Because at some point, if I continue to do these videos, at some point I would have to start showing you guys screens and actually showing you in detail what you would have to do as far as like the charts, and the scanners and stuff like that. But I'll get more into that in other videos, okay? This is going to be an introduction, so I'm telling you now, if you're watching, just hear me out, be patient. It's something you need to have when it comes to stock market anyway. I'll get there, but I want you guys to know why I started and everything. So a little bit about me. For you guys, that's been long time subscribers. One of the questions I've always got asked on this channel is what I do for a living. Okay, I usually ignore those comments. A lot of people want to know what I do for a living and stuff. That's the only thing that I will be private about here on this channel. Okay, I think there's just certain things on the internet that you guys don't need to know because not that I'm secretive about it. It's just that the internet, people could be kind of cruel on here. It's a dangerous place. I've seen firsthand, people lifestyle getting exposed and stuff. Like people put people's personal business up on here. It gets kind of ugly at times. And if I did put that out there, it wouldn't be hard to find me. Okay, so that's why I rather not put that information out there. All right, but everything else I'm cool with being open about on here, now. But I'm 34 years old. Okay, I've never been married. All right, I don't have any kids. Okay, but I have a good career. I've been doing my career for about 13 years now. I have a bachelor's in computer science. Okay. I make about, the lowest I've made in the last 7-8 years was I've been making about 100,000 for the last 7 years or so, at least 100,000. I've been making as high as the mid 130s, close to 140s. Okay, so I'm just for you to have some idea of my lifestyle. Um, I've always upgraded in life as far as living situations, cars, just my lifestyle, traveling. I've always tried to upgrade in life every single year. All right, I don't like taking step backwards. All right, that's my goal every year. Every year is just to be better every year. I try to be better every year. Okay, and I just don't want to go backwards in any way. Um, I've never worked on a birthday day of my life. That's just my thing. You know, um, I'm very ambitious. I'm very driven to want to be. My goal is to right now. My immediate goal is to be at least worth $500,000. I'm 34, but I plan on retiring by 40. Okay, and I want to be. Financial freedom is awesome. You know, I don't want to ever have to worry about a bill payment or anything ever. I want to be able to travel wherever I want. I love to travel. Some of you guys know that. I post videos on some of my trips, my vacations. I'm a car buff. If I'm ever rich one day, that's the only thing that I would actually spend money on is collecting vehicles, both new and old, because I love cars. You know, I love simple things too, like fishing and stuff. Um, I love chill stuff, but I enjoy traveling, okay, and I really enjoy cars, okay. That's my thing. And my dream is to be able to afford those things without having a problem, without second guessing anything. If I want to book a trip and fly away, I'll go all the way around the world. I want to be able to do it, you know, without considering, like, without money being a problem, you know. That's my goal. That's what I choose to live, If I've ever become a millionaire, which, I plan to, um, I'm going to try to, I hope to, but, I plan to, that's my goal. Like that's my goal, you know. I know when I reach that point, there's going to be a new goal. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's always a new goal. And I feel that you're not going to do anything in life unless you really enjoy it. You have to enjoy it. Whatever it is you do, in life, you have to be able to enjoy it. You can't just be good at it. You have to be able to enjoy it when it comes to, working and stuff. I personally don't want to work anymore. I don't like having a boss. Okay, I would like to work for me. We all say that, but a lot of us are comfortable with it. Okay, we get good jobs, good benefits, and we become comfortable. I don't want to look at another person that has more than me financially and say, I wish I had that. I don't want to look at another person like that. When I look at someone like that, I want to become that person. And I start thinking of ways of how I can become that person. That's just the way I am. And I do everything on my own. I've learned how to do the stock trading stuff on my own. And I usually rarely find help in things because if I do fail, I blame myself. I don't like pointing fingers. I'm not into any of that. I don't get jealous of people. I like to, if I see that you're working on something, you know, it kind of motivates me to do it. Okay. Uh, so as far as the stock market and what got me into it, well, it's pretty simple. I think maybe a couple years ago, maybe not even a couple years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I was getting to a point where I said, okay, something needs to change. I want to be able to live and have less bills. And I just want to upgrade. I want to like, what's next for me? That's how I am. I think about that. I lose sleep at night thinking about what's next. What's next? Uh, I'm always thinking what's next. I remember I came across this channel on YouTube, so some of you might have heard of him. His name is Dave Ramsey. Okay, he's like a financial advisor. All right, very famous guy. All right, very wealthy guy. Old school, but I started listening to his YouTube videos, where he was just talking about being financially responsible, getting rid of credit. That's his thing. He doesn't believe in credit. He talks about his experiences and his bad financial decisions. And I was at a point in my life where, what? I wanted to get rid of debt. I wanted to get rid of other things and, be able to get paid and not have to worry about paying stuff off and loans and stuff like that. So I was coming to a point where I was already in transition and already cleaning stuff up, when it comes to finances. I was already changing. But when I started watching this guy's channel, I actually went and picked up his book and I read the book. And he has goals he's set, like, steps into taking the change. And, I did some of his stuff, but it was like I said, I was already thinking about this stuff, but to hear someone tell me, and sometimes that's all the motivation you may need sometime to really want to change in direction in your life. You just need someone else to speak out loudly about things you've been thinking about, So his big thing with him, like I said, is his credit, the credit. He doesn't really believe in credit cards and loans and stuff. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. Don't buy it. If you can't afford it, don't listen to all these people that's telling you credit score this and you need that. You don't need credit, And I felt them on that. Because I wasn't really brought up that way. I was brought up, I had a great mom, but, she was telling me about the importance of credit scores and stuff like that. And, I think, I always thought that, when I look at it now, I think like credit, when I think of credit, I think of most people use it because they use their credit score and stuff like that as an excuse to buy stuff that they can't afford, and live beyond their means, That's how I look at it now. You just living beyond your means. You got all these credit cards. You got 10 credit cards. Most of them are used up and everything. You abuse your cards and you're buying stuff that you couldn't afford if you didn't have the cards, and you're paying it off later, but then you get stuck with the loans and stuff. Some people go bankrupt. Some people just get stuck paying credit all day. Like, what's up? You put a coat, you put something expensive or Rolex or something on a credit card, and then you're paying it for years and years later, and you don't even like that watch anymore. You don't even wear it no more, or it was stolen or something. It's ridiculous. And this is some of the stuff that he was saying, but I felt him. He was saying exactly what I was thinking. And I had some cards, and I know this is not about stocks, but I just want to give you how I feel, because I think what I say here might help someone that's watching this video. It may not help you, but it may help someone, okay? I really personally believe that if you don't have the money to afford it, you shouldn't be buying it. That's it. Long story short, I paid off all my credit cards. I had money saved, and then one day I woke up and said, you know what? I'm going to pay all these shits off. Why am I paying these every month? I want to be able to make a budget and not have all these cards and loans on my budget. Pay them off. What am I waiting for? Pay them all off. Right now, as of right now, the only credit that I have, only debt that I have is my car and my student loans. Okay. Car. I got my car like a year ago, and I make double payments at times. I want to pay it off quick, and I plan on paying the student loans. Student loans are still pretty high. I graduated owing a lot, but I'm trying to pay all that stuff off. But anyway, I started listening to that guy, and after I paid everything off, it felt good. It felt good. There's still more work that I need to do, that I want to do, but it felt very good. It felt very good, and it freed up a lot of money. It freed up some money, some space, and you know, after that, and that's the thing about YouTube. YouTube is crazy because I was never a YouTube guy until I had this channel. When I started doing YouTube, before I would just look up on YouTube like certain videos. I'll just search it and just look up that specific. I didn't have a YouTube account. I was just, I was just a regular guy that would look up YouTube videos. And then, I didn't have this I didn't subscribe to anyone. I didn't even know what any of that meant. But YouTube is great. YouTube is great. I think YouTube and Google are like two of the best forms of education you can have. It's free. It's free education. I don't see the problem with people. Either you want to learn, you either learn or make excuses or not to learn. What are you gonna do? Because you don't have to go to school. You can learn from home if you choose to, if you want to. You can either download books into your phone or to your tablets. Read books from there. You can do whatever you want to do. And that's what started me into the stock market. I started subscribing to, because I'm into a lot of things. So I started subscribing to channels that are car-based channels. I don't know. It could be. There's so many channels. I'm so into stuff. I follow some animal channels. I'm into nature and all that stuff. I'm into that stuff. I'm into cars. I'm into like travel. There's some food channels, cooking and stuff that I'm into. Adventurous. People doing crazy stuff with their GoPros and stuff. I'm into those type of channels. I'm into all type of channels. Well, I was following a few channels, and some of them specifically were younger guys, and they were making millions, They were making millions already. And I was like, man, what does this guy do, What is this guy doing for, what does he do for a living, I always wondered that, and some of them would say, they were day traders, or some, I'm like, oh, day trader, what does that mean? And I started watching some of this stuff, started watching some YouTube channels, started searching what day trading and looking up stuff in videos and trying to understand how it works. Stock market works. It was, the stock market was, I was like everybody else that don't know anything about the stock market. I didn't understand, when I look at it, you look it up and you pull it up on your phone and you look at the screen and you're like, what the hell is all of this shit mean? Like, what are these letters? What are these lines? What do these symbols mean? What do these colors mean? What is NASDAQ and all of that? What is that? And all it takes is some research for you to find out. It's just as much as you use time on social media or playing video games or watching your favorite, catching up on your favorite TV series. You can put that time into educating yourself on the stock market. If you're a YouTuber, if you're a subscriber to mine, you follow my channel, I'm sure you follow plenty of other channels. That time that you take in listening to boxing videos all day, you can use to listen to some stock market videos, because there are plenty of YouTubers out there that are into the day trading, So I started looking up and doing research, and I picked up a couple books. Google is great. It's a great tool. Start doing some searching. You don't know what a word means, look it up. I've been doing that for years now. If I didn't know what something meant, I just research it. I'll just look it up on my phone. I'll just Google it or whatever. Search it on my phone. It's just the way you have to live today. It's everything is easy access. You have it right there in the palm of your hand. And that's what I was doing. I looked it up. I looked into it, and I was like, yo, these guys are making millions, at bare minimum, hundreds of thousands off day trading, you know? And I started learning how the market worked, and I created a portfolio, and I started trading myself. I had money saved, and I said, you know what? I can do this right now. I can do it. I don't have no major responsibilities. What's my excuse for not trading? What's my excuse? Some other people, they can't do it. They don't have the finances to do it. They have kids, they got families, they got college tuitions to pay for. They got other stuff to do. They're stuck. They really don't have the money to do it or the time, you know? So I get it. Well, I didn't have an excuse. And I think most people don't have an excuse, to educate yourself, and it really depends on, if you like it or not. I'm into it. I started, once I started day trading, I realized that I was addicted to it because I'm constantly spending hours a day doing research and trying to plan my day or my next day, looking up stocks, doing my research on each one, looking at activity, watching the market overall. You do that Monday to Friday, So, I mean, these are things that you have to do. Are you built to do that? Are you built to do that? Or do you want some quick money? But more on why I started. Long story short, like I said, I plan to retire at 40. I'm not currently living check to check or anything like that, but I would like to live very, very easy. If I'm stressed out about something, I don't want it to be about finances. And I understand once you make more money, your stress levels change. If you're a millionaire and you're stressed over losing some money, it's different levels of being broke. We understand that, okay? But one thing I do not want to ever do is come anywhere near living check to check again. Never again in my life. I don't want to come near to that. And I don't think I will. But even with that being said, I just, things happen to people. And one of the things I learned from the Dave Ramsey thing, I mean, not that I didn't hear from it. I didn't hear this before. I've heard this before. But you should be able to go 6 months without receiving a paycheck and be able to pay and your bills and survive off that. Can you do that? I'm right around the point where I can. I'm right around the point that I can. And, I wouldn't want to do that, but I'm right around there. Some people say 3 months, you should go 3 months. No, I'm right around the 6 month range where, if I get fired from work, something that won't happen, but something that would happen. If something crazy like that were to happen, I want to be able to at least take care of myself, just in case, because you never know. I would like to be like that. So anyway, and then not only that, I think stocks are cool because they're mobile. It's mobile. You can do it from your phone. If you could listen, making money and looking at your phone, it's a great feeling when you look watching your phone and you're watching your portfolio go up. It's a great feeling. You're not at work killing yourself, whatever it is you guys do for a living. You're not at work doing it. You're at home or you're on vacation. You could be at a beach looking at your phone and watching your money grow. It's a great feeling. I think it's awesome. So I would like to encourage others to do it. And I think it's unfortunate that I think every school should be teaching, and that's the last point I want to make before I start talking about the stock market. I think it's very unfair. I think it's unfortunate that most people are not raised and taught to invest. I think people are limited to whatever their parents choose to teach on, whatever they could teach them. Parents don't know, they're not going to be able to educate you on it. Okay? If they can't afford to take you to the top schools, they're not going to be able to, you're not going to get educated on it, And I think that's very unfortunate because investing is important. You should have an investing 101 class in middle school. You know, as important as it is. The stock market is no secret to society, but yet I feel like it's American secret to success. You should be investing in something. You know, how you invest, it could, whether it's real estate, whether it's in long term like 401ks or Roth IRAs or whatever it is you want to choose to do it, you should be investing somewhat in something. Whatever it is, you should be investing in something, not just saving money. I mean, you should be investing in something, okay, towards it. What is it, a pension, whatever you choose to do. But you have to choose and pick what do you like, what do you enjoy, you know. So let me on that note, I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna just grab a glass of water real quick, and I'll start talking about the stock market a little bit. Right. All right. What's going on? All right. So let's start off with let's talk about the stock market and how just give you some advice. Okay. The first thing, like I said earlier in this video, you have to educate yourself. It's up to you. Only you can do that. Okay. I tell people, friends and family, co-workers or whatever, they want to just, how do you do it? That's the general, or how much money you start out with, or how much do you make? How much can you make? Well, you can make as much as much as possible. You could become a billionaire or you can lose money. I can't really answer for that. It really depends on what you're investing, how much you're investing. Something realistic, and you investing in the right things and how you're going to invest. There's so many different ways of trading stocks, so many different types. So you need to educate yourself on that. Okay, becoming book smart. Okay, like I said, Google. All right, look up some articles. Look up day trading, understanding the meaning of it and how it works, understanding the stock market. Okay, look in YouTube. There's YouTube channels, great ones. Okay, great ones out there that teach you. Okay, but watch several. Don't just watch one, because they all have different ways they like to trade. Don't just listen to one and say, oh, this is the way to do it. No, that's the way that they do it. Take the time out of your day to educate yourself. Okay, read books, pick up some books. Go to Barnes and Nobles, go to the library. Do your own research. Educate yourself. Take courses if you have to. You got to do it. You have to educate yourself. Okay. Second thing is, you have to be realistic with yourself. What are your goals? Are they immediate goals or are they long-term goals? Okay. You have to be realistic with yourself. Okay. People ask me, well, how much money should I start out with? That's the first question. I want to create a portfolio, but I really don't know what to do. All right. Well, I didn't know what to do neither when I started. It's just that I was motivated to do it because I wanted to do it, because it seemed interesting. Like people say that it seems interesting at all. Oh, I want to get into the penny stocks. Oh, I want to get. All right. Well, then it's there for you to learn. You just have to get on your ass and pull up your computer or pull up whatever and do it. But you have to be realistic with yourself. How much money are you willing to lose? I don't know. I think at bare minimum, you should start with $500. I think that's reasonable for anyone. Because there's people that I know that don't make a lot a year. I know people that don't make more than 30 grand a year. Yet they still find ways to take vacations and buy designer clothes and drive decent car or pop bottles in a club. So muster up $500. Tax season is coming. Perfect timing. If you don't owe for tax season, take $500 that you made, put it to the side. Use that as your portfolio money, at the bare minimum. Take $500, okay? Now, if you make a lot more than that, then you can start wherever you choose, somewhere realistic. Me, personally, I'll be honest with you guys. I started with 5 grand. You know, I took 5 grand the day I created my portfolio. I created it with 5 grand. All right. After a few weeks of trading daily, I said, okay, you know what? I trust this thing. I started with Robinhood app, by the way. Well, I'll get to that later. Uh, After I got a little comfortable and learned how it worked, I added another 20 grand. So let's just say I started with 25 grand. Okay. Now I didn't trade the 25 grand, all of it. Okay. But I didn't have anyone there to tell me, look, this is the way you should do it. This is the way this, that. No, you know, I started very, very aggressive. All right. Now, was I willing to lose 25 grand? Hell no. Wasn't ready to lose 25 grand. Hell no. But I didn't trade all of it, you know. I wasn't loading up. I wasn't just loading up and stuff. Not in the very beginning. Okay. $500. I don't know. Some people that's watching this, 25 grand might not be anything. There's people, you know, that trade 25 grand light on a light day, you know. They'll trade 25 grand if they don't want to take it's a non-risky trade if they take 25 grand and put it into a stock, you know. That's not a big move to them. It depends. You know, everybody's different. You know, you might want to start out with 5 grand. You might want to start out with 50 grand. It really depends on what you make and what you're comfortable with losing. I personally think you should start out with what you're comfortable with losing, just in case. If you were to lose this money, this is the amount. Now, if you start your portfolio, don't load up on one stock. Don't load up on one stock. Don't put it all into, no, put it in separate things. If you're starting out with $500, throw $40 into the stock. What you are trying to do in the beginning is to learn how the market works. Watch the market. Okay, you have to watch it and learn. What is it doing? Look at the trends. Look at the charts. You have to learn the charts. That's one of the hardest things to do. Okay, learn what everything means. Okay, but learning how it moves and how the market works is vital. Okay, when you start out, all you're doing is learning. You're using money, and this is why I say use the amount that you're willing to lose, because at this point, in this stage, you're just learning. If your mindset is to go in here and try to make a lot of money once you start, then don't get involved. Okay? Don't get involved. Now, if you're trying to buy a stock and trying to get into something for long term, like 5 years and 10 years, then yeah, put some money into something that you believe in. You believe in a certain company. You believe that it will grow from wherever it's currently at. Then put your money into it. Okay? I think you still should look for a good point to where you're buying it, you know, because you never know. Stocks do drop. Sometimes they drop and they never return. You know, you don't want to put money into a stock on the last day that is ever going to be at where it's at. You know, there are stocks that were worth hundreds of thousands or thousands and thousands of dollars that are now penny stocks. Okay? So you have to be careful. You have to be mindful. You have to do your research. Okay? Educate yourself. But be realistic with yourself too. Okay? Listen, if you're trying to make a quick buck, do not get into the stock market. That's the problem with people. They want fast results. Quick and easy. Okay? They're not willing to do the work. Weeks, months, years of work. Day to day, day in, day out. They're not willing to do it. They want the money, but they want it quickly and fast. All right? You know? And this is why I like the market and I like the potential in it, because we're already doing that. We're already going to work day to day, and every single day for years, busting our ass, doing something that we don't want to do. We don't feel like going in some days. We're tired. We're sick. We have other things to do. You know, you want to go out. You want to do this. You want to that. You know, you might not like your boss. You might not like your coworkers. You know, they're cutting your hours. People go years and years of doing that. But then when it comes to the stock market, they want quick results. You don't get quick results at work, so don't expect it here neither. Okay? This is something that you can't fuck around with, you know? So be realistic with yourself. Okay? So you have to educate yourself and you have to make a plan. You have to make a plan. What are your goals? Okay? Financially. All right? Learn the market. All right? How are you going to trade? Once you understand how it works, are you going to be a day trader? Are you going to be a swing trader? Are you going to do, are you long term? How do you want to trade? That's the one thing about these YouTubers and, reading articles and educating yourself. You have to figure out how you want to trade. And the only way you can really figure out is by experience. You have to start. You have to mess around with it a little for you to understand how it works. Because these guys will teach you in these courses based on how they choose to do it. You might speak to another expert and he might give you a completely different advice on how to trade. You might go in thinking you want to be a day trader. Oh, I want to buy stocks. Oh, I want to sell it that same day. Because that's what day trading is. You buy stocks and you sell them that same day. Okay? You want to go in and then you want to go out. You want to take your profits and run with it. Cool. But after you start doing it, you'll see how risky it is. It's very risky. When to buy. Don't buy. You could buy it when you're chasing it while it's going up. And guess what? You buy it at its peak and it drops and sinks right after that. And now you're a bag holder. Basically meaning you owe money. You're holding money. You're in the negative. You're in the red. And now you have to sit there and wait until it reaches a certain point. Because now you're going to be selling your shares at a loss. You don't want to do that. So you have to figure out how you want to trade. If you're going to be a swing trader, well, you could go days, weeks. You're working on a specific stock. You buy some shares, you buy 1,000 shares. This day, you buy 1,000 shares in a stock that's worth $1. It's worth $1. You buy 1,000 shares, you spend $1,000. Okay? And then you're working on it, It goes down a little bit, you add some more shares, you buy it a little cheaper, it goes down to 80 cents. You know what? I'm going to buy some more shares. I believe in this stock. I know it's going to go up. I'm expecting it to go up to $1.50 at least. Goes up to $1.50 or it goes up to $1.25. You can sell some of your shares. You know what? I'm going to sell 700 of my shares, leave 300 left over. I still think it has some room for growth. Maybe it goes up. Maybe it doesn't go up. Maybe it goes back down to $1. You say, you know what? I'm going to add some more. I'm going to add another 200-300 more shares. That's swing trading. You can swing around or you can, wait a few days and let it pop. It might not pop that day. It might pop in a week or two, a month from now. Swing trading, that's what it is. I started out wanting to day trade. Just be a day trader. I started out with no experience trying to day trade and try to learn everything on the fly. Now I'm more of a swing trader that day trades from time to time. I might sneak a day trade in there once or twice a day, maybe a few times a week, maybe 5-6 times a week. Some weeks I might only get like 1 or 2 day trades. I usually have money, I have like 11 stocks that I have money into right now. And in the beginning, trade at your own pace. As you grow and grow more experience. And listen, this is when I say experience is very important. You can't learn experience. It doesn't work that way. That's why I say start at a reasonable amount. Because as much education as you can get, okay, you still need to learn how the market works. No book is going to teach you experience. These guys that are teaching you, they've been doing it for years. They got burned so many times, even while being educated. People can go to school for it. And when you're actually doing, it's a different game. It's a ball game. It's a different ball game. This is like, job hunting. You can have the degrees. You can have all the paper. You can have your bachelor's, your master's, your doctrines. You can have whatever. You could be this. But guess what? You have no experience. Where have you worked before? This is why sometimes they hire the guy that has, the credentials are not as high, but the experience is higher. So they're gonna pick that person because they know how to work. They've been in the workplace before. You haven't. You're brand new. You're fresh out of school. They're gonna take the guy that knows what he's doing. And the same with stock market. Experience comes with you getting burned. You're going to have your days where you're going to have your shit days and you're like, oh my God, what the hell? That was a stupid, what the hell am I doing? You're going to have those days. But then when you have those days where you're making money and you see the potential, you're like, whoa. The only unfortunate thing is if you don't have a lot of money, it's harder to get motivated when you don't see. People are motivated by great results, So if you put in money into the stock and, even if you have $500 and you say, you know what, I'm going to load up on the $500 into this one penny stock because I know it's going to go up 300%, it's going to go up 300, 400%. You know it, or someone might have told you it and you see the results and so you make your money back. You sell your shares. Now that $500, you just flip that $500 to making $2,000 or $2,500, and you're like, man, I love this. I just made $2,500 there. Now I'm gonna flip this $2,500. I'm gonna take 1,000 of this 2,000 I just made and then put into another stock. And now you love it. That kind of motivates you to want to continue. Now, if you start off and you lose some money, then that's what happens to the average person. You start off with a little money, it's really, your money's already tight. You're already living paycheck to paycheck. And you say, you know what, I'm going to try to start this stock market day. You go in there with $500 and now you're down 300 of your 500 you started with. Your money's really tight. You're going to be like, nah, I can't do this. This stuff is a scam. I can't work with this. That's how most people look at it, And this is why the people that are experienced for years, that's made money in hundreds of thousands or millions from doing it for years, they're able to bounce back because they're wrong too. Don't think that these pros don't lose money. They do too. But they have the money to be able to, they have the experience to know when to pull out most of the time. When they're losing, they know how to snip it real quick. You know what? I'm going to take a short loss and get out of this. I'm not going to take the risk. It may turn around that day, but they don't want to take the risk because it may drop harder. But if they believe in a stock, they have enough money to average down. You know what? I'm going to add some more at a lower price. I bought this thing at $1. Now it's down to 80 cents. I'm going to put more money into it. Now it's average. I have 1,000 shares in this one stock. That's $1. So that's $1,000. Goes down to 80. You buy another 1,000. Now it's averaged at 90 cents because you're averaging it out. You have 2,000 shares total. It's averaged out at 90 cents. But let's say it keeps dropping. But you believe in the stock. You know it's going to go up. You dealt with the stock before. It's a good company. You know already it's going to be a reversal at some point. So you add a little more. You add more. You add another $1,000 at 60 cents. These guys can afford to take that money, take that loss and add on if they believe in the company. That's the advantage they have. They had experience and have more money. So don't think that the pros are just always right. No, that's not right. You need experience. You do need experience, That's why when I learned, I got right in the field right away. I said, you know what, I'm going to go in there And I was really risky at first. I put my little money here and there, and I was losing my little money here and there. But then, I found a couple good ones and stuff. Um, real quick, let me speak on crypto. Um, Now cryptocurrency, right? I didn't. I started like maybe a month later because one of my best friends, he's into cryptocurrency. It's weird because we was just happening to talk on the phone, and I was telling him I was into the stock market, and he was telling me how he had just been trading in he was trading cryptos for a few months. And I was like, wow, I was like, that's crazy. Like, he didn't know I was trading in that, and I didn't know he was trading in it. It was just weird. It was just so crazy, And I ended up going to hang out with him, and I was at his house, and he was teaching me how the cryptos work. And this is my thing on cryptocurrency, okay? At that time, I was already doing my stocks, I had 25,000 in my portfolio. I was already making some money, and I was like, I don't know if I'm about that crypto stuff. It's not regulated and all that stuff. I was like, I don't know if I could get into that. This is like back in September, okay? And I said, you know what? I'm gonna take $1,000. I'm gonna take something small, and I'm gonna throw it into some cryptos. All right. So I put some money in Bitcoin, and I think Neo. I think those are the first two I put money into. And then eventually I put some more in, maybe a couple weeks after I put it in QTUM, a couple other cryptos or whatever. But that's it, just $1,000. I didn't put any more than like $1,000, and I'm in it for long. That's just my choice. I don't trade cryptos. I just don't. I'm gonna eventually add more, but for now, I only have $1,000 in the cryptocurrencies. Now, I've seen it. I monitor it daily. It's going, that $1,000 that I put in since September has gone as high as $4,000. Okay, so that's pretty good for the fact that I put $1,000 in there. When Bitcoin was at its highest, at its peak, and some of these other cryptos went up too. I bought them at a lower price. In September, they were low. I bought Bitcoin when it was $4,000. I bought a little bit in there, and it went up to as high as 19. I think it's as low as 9 now. It's been doing rough since December, but it was as high as $4,000, and it's been, $4,000, a little over $4,000, and it's been as low as about my portfolio is hit as low as 2,500. So with that being said, I still made, at least $1,500, at its lowest on my worst day, So that's pretty cool, And I'm just leaving it there. I'm gonna add more eventually, but I'm not really I have my money rolled up into the stock market, into stocks, and I've added much more since then. I've made more money, I've seen, I started with 25 though, but so I started out with Robinhood app. Okay, I think all beginners should start with Robinhood. That's just my personal opinion. There's no commission fees. Okay, I currently don't have all of my money in the Robinhood. I think I removed. I switched to Fidelity. I use the Trading Pro software now. It's just, now that I learned a lot more, I need a little bit more in order to me, Robinhood app is great for beginners because it's no commissions and it's from your phone. You don't need all of the stuff, but it helps when you're first starting out. It's great to have. Okay, it's still great to have even if you're an expert because there's no commission. You can use other apps on your phone, or you can do your trades from your phone, but you can monitor, website, more things that are quicker with giving you the updates on the current prices of the stocks. Robinhood could be a little bit slow, okay? it's live, but it shows you live prices, but it's kind of a little bit of a delay. Okay. And it's limited as far as the charts and the information you may need on a particular stock. But there's other apps out there. All right, there are other apps out there that you can use from your phone that are good as far as getting more information on stocks. Okay, me personally on my phone, um, I have I use Stockmaster app in order to monitor. I have my watch list, and watch list means basically all the stocks that I'm watching. You know, I I have, like, if you can see, these are all the stocks that I'm currently watching or I have money rolled into. I use that. I think it's good updates. It's good details on the stocks. That Robinhood just doesn't give. Okay, but anybody that's new should start with Robinhood. Okay, um, eventually I'm gonna move some money over to Robinhood just to start a portfolio there. And when I start recording, when I start actually showing you guys off screen, I'm gonna do it from my phone where you can actually see um, the app, and I can talk, because with the iPhone you can record the screen and I can show you my actual portfolio from Robinhood, and I can explain to you how to use everything. So I will eventually do that. All right, that was my plan originally, to do that. All right, I just, right now, I don't have money in Robinhood. Okay, um, but I suggest Robinhood app. Okay, um, stockedwits. Okay, people were asking me if I have a stockedwits. Stockedwits is like the social media of stock market and cryptos, even cryptos now. I use it. I'm on there. If you want to follow me on there, my name is P Glad3. PGLAD3. The number 3. Okay. P Glad3. All right. I'm not on there daily. I'm not highly active on there. I do post some buys and trades on that I do, but I don't use it. I use it as for information, news. If you are going to use StockTwits, I think everybody should have StockTwits because it's a good way to find out information on stocks. There are plenty of accounts on there that are good at giving you information as far as news is concerned. Okay, I only day trade penny stocks mostly. I rarely trade anything over $7. Because I like to. I want to get as much as I can for the money that I put in. Um, I don't really do stocks that's over $7, $8. I usually like to deal with penny stocks. And I try not to deal with too many stocks that's less than $1. Okay, I think anything less than $1 is really, really risky, unless I think it's a stock that was over $1, that was oversold, in my opinion, and I think it's gonna go back over $1. Then I might invest into it. But I don't have too many stocks that I invest in. I do sometimes, but when penny stocks is anything $5 and below. All right. But I mess around with stocks usually up to $7, $8. Every once in a while, I might invest in a stock that is like over 10 or maybe around $20 every once in a while, but it's very, very rare, like maybe once or twice a month. Okay. But the reason why I do penny stock is because you get so much back for the money you invest. Okay. It's very, very, it's easier for a stock to go up 100% from a penny stock. You can get much more for a stock to go up 100% in a penny stock than it does in a stock that, that's like $20 and above. For a stock to go from 20 to 40, it has to be huge news, for it to go up 100%. It has to be huge. Whereas a penny stock, it could go up from $1 to $2, easily, a few times, a lot more often than the other way around. Okay. but they're riskier because they can go down quickly as well. All right. I do penny stocks. Okay. Um, More on Robinhood though. Just wanted to make something clear. Robinhood didn't have a website up until now. It's been 100% mobile for the years that it's been out. Been completely mobile. Uh, they're creating a website that should be out soon. If it's not out already, I don't think it is. And now, is as of news of this week, you're going to be able to trade cryptocurrencies as well, which is excellent. Okay, because right now to trade cryptocurrency, it's so annoying. You got to go through certain apps. You got to go through certain. It's not as manageable as purchasing shares in a stock. Okay, I have stuff here like I buy. I transfer my money to Coinbase. I transfer it over to Bittrex. I have Blockfolio where you got all these. I have 3 apps. 3 or 4 apps just to manage my crypto portfolio. More experienced guys might not have a problem with it. They do it from their computer. I just don't have time to really deal with it like that. But I think Robinhood, with it coming out on Robinhood and still being commission free, that might be a great way to buy some cryptos. I think that a lot of people are going to buy cryptos straight from Robinhood when that starts. Okay, so overall, I think Robinhood is great to start out with. All right. But yeah, that's how I trade. I do a lot more swing trading than day trading. I mainly just deal with penny stocks. As far as stocks to look out for, do your research. A lot of people ask me, well, what do you think about weed stocks? Yeah, there's some good ones out there. If you want to invest in that, invest in it. Just do your research on your weed stocks. Study it. Look it up and do your research. I don't know much about them. There's all kind of stocks, and in the stock market, sometimes certain stocks will bounce and move based on what other stocks related to that stock are doing. If crypto stocks are down, then blockchain related stocks or stocks are going to be down. The following ones might be down too. If shipping companies are up, one shipping company is up, another shipping company might be up. It really depends on what kind of stock it is. Things move based on performance of another stock. So this is what watching the market is, and doing your own due diligence and your research. This is what it comes to. When it's a good time to buy, you got to pay attention to what's going on. You have to do the work. Don't go on stockedwits and start just buying stuff that people tell you to buy because they have a lot of followers. And, like I said earlier, these guys can afford to take some losses. You can't. Okay? A lot of people, most people can't. Go on stockedwits to learn lose. If I see like someone that I follow and I trust their judgment, and they tell me, oh, this is going up, this is doing this doing that, well, I might watch it for myself. Not rushing by. I'll watch it and see what happens. If it drops, then I'll be like, oh, you know what? I'm glad I didn't invest into it. If I don't trust it, I won't do it. But I'll do my own research on it. Some of these guys are experienced. They dealt with these stocks plenty of the time, so they know how to trade them. You don't. The average person don't. So as a beginner, you want to do your own research. You want to look at the charts, look at the trends, look at what it's done in the last 5 years, the last couple years, the last month, the last week. You want to pay attention to stuff like that. Learn the charts. These guys that are pros, they have scanners. They use the scanners to look for certain stocks. Low float stocks with a lot of volume. Okay. I know you don't know what all that shit means, but in more videos, I'll try to do more detailed breakdowns of what all that stuff means. Okay. But in the meantime, you could be doing that on your own as well. Okay, because you're gonna need to do it. Even if I explain it, you're not gonna understand it unless you're doing and you're trading the stocks and you're reading it constantly. It doesn't. You can't just read a book or listen to someone and understand it. You have to be doing it. You have to be in it to understand it, and you have to see it always, and you gotta learn. That's how it works. You know, I've had to learn the hard way. I've lost some money. I've made a lot of money. I've made more money than I lost, but I've lost some money too. I have tough days too. So you have to do your own. It's up to you. If you want to be a great trader, you think there's this potential, and if you enjoy it, and you could see yourself doing this as a career, then yeah, it's good. It's great. It's great. I mean, ask the people that are doing it now. It's great. It's great when you're making money. It's not so great when you're losing it, but you can always bounce right back. Don't chase. Don't. So much to speak on, but you have to figure out. These are all of the things that, this is an introduction video. Like I said, everything before I end this video, everything I went over today, I personally suggest you start with Robinhood. Commission fee. No, there's no commission fees. Okay? You can do it from your phone. So if you're out on work, you can watch the market. Look at some stocks. Don't buy them. Just watch how they move. Are they in the red today? They're in the green tomorrow? They're in the green again the next day? What is the news? What's the catalyst on them? What's going on with this stock? If you don't know what a word means, look it up. Look it up. I do that all the time. Not with just stocks, just in general. Look it up. Just educate yourself. Pick up a couple of books. Watch some YouTube channels. That's another suggestion. Try to come up with a plan, a goal. Even when you're buying a stock, you have to have a goal. How much money, how high are you trying to go? How much are you risking for this particular stock? Are you trying to day trade it, or are you trying to swing trade it? How much money you're trying to make? How high do you think it's going to go? What's the potential? Where has it been before? Is there news coming up? Is a conference coming up? What's going on with the stock? These are things that you have to learn. I'm still learning myself. I'm still learning every single day, and there's no one here to teach me. I'm just learning on my own, through my own experiences, and just learning. That's all I can do. So you guys have to do the same. But anyway, this is gonna be my first video on this. Okay, there will be more to come. I'll try to explain some more in further videos. I'll start maybe even giving, start breaking down some of the stocks maybe that I'm trading. Right now, I'm trading a few blockchain stocks, a few medical related stocks. It depends. It really depends. You can't get emotional, and you can't be loyal to these stocks. Okay, they move the way they want to move. Okay, some of them are completely unpredictable. They're not rational, and you can't just say, "Oh, I like this company." I like Apple. I have an iPhone, an iPad, a MacBook. I'm gonna invest in Apple. All right. But what if Apple is doing bad in the stock market? You still want to invest in it? What if there's bad news for the last couple weeks? I had to learn that with Apple, and I had to learn that with Tesla. Tesla is a good company. That's gonna be this. This is gonna be this. I'm gonna invest in it now. And then you invest in it, and then it drops down, from $50. What Tesla, I think, in a fall dropped from like, I don't know, it was worth like $385, and then it dropped like $320 or something, from $385 a share to $3. And I think I bought it when it was like high, So this is what I'm saying. You know, you could believe in a company. If you're a long-term person, then you have nothing to worry about. But if you're a short-term person, you're trying to make some money, you can't just pick on companies that you like. No, you got to pick the companies that's doing well. Okay? And you got to know when to get out. Don't get greedy. You know, take your profits. You know, like I said, like you could be up $1,000, but you want to make two. You want to. But guess what? Even if you hit two, you're going to want to make 3,000. You got to be realistic. How's this stock moving? Is it likely to go back down? You know, where's support at? You got to look at these things, and, you know, you could be up. There's been times where I was up, you know, $500 in the stock. I was up. Well, listen, there's been times, there's a time where I was up 80 grand in the stock, and it went back down, and I pulled out when it was, you know, making 40 grand, you know. You're sitting there like an idiot, like, dude, you know, you got greedy, but that's lack of experience, you know. So it can happen. It can happen in a minute. In a minute, they come down faster. The stocks come down faster than they go up. You know, believe that. So you have to make a decision. You're making money, take your profits. You know, you have to come up with a plan. You know, and if it's not moving the way, it's not gonna always move the way you want to move it. You know, sometimes you pull out too early, and it skyrockets, and you're like, damn, I wish I kept the money in there. But what if I had went down instead of going up? What if I had dropped again? Sometimes stuff happened that's completely irrational. You can't explain why I do. You think it's gonna move a certain way. You think great news is gonna make it move a certain way, and then it doesn't move a certain way. Hold on, I'm about to. Holy crap! Okay, I'm up $400 right now for MYO, and I wasn't even paying attention because I'm doing this video. But ooh, I made some money today. All right, hold on, give me a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna make a trade real quick. All right. All right. Yeah, don't get greedy, because you could be up in a stock for $1,000. You don't pull out because you think it's gonna go higher, and then when it dips, you know, you're like, oh, it's gonna turn around, it's gonna reverse. This is just this is trying to get people out. You know, that it's gonna bounce back. It doesn't bounce back. It drops hard, and then you go from being able to take profits, $1,000 profits, to losing $500. You don't want to be that guy. All right, I'm out. This is my first video. Let me know what you guys think. Leave comments. Any questions? Like I said, I gave you my what's it called? Twit stocks, stockedwits account, PGLAD3, PGLAD3. Okay, that's my stockedwits account. So if you want to follow me on there, hit me up, ask questions, whatever, you can hit me up on there. Email still the same, BoxingWave3@gmail. There's always a 3 at the end. BoxingWave3@gmail for my email. And stockedwits is PGLAD3. All right, if you want to hit me on there. And just drop comments if you want. You know, there'll be another video. These videos are probably going to be long every single time I do them. But, you know, I had to give you guys an introduction, talked a little bit about myself, and then hope you guys appreciate the video. If you want me to continue to do videos, I will do. You know, I'll make videos based on the feedback that I get, all right? Because it's time consuming. You know, I'm actually trying to trade, and I'm looking at the screen while I'm talking to you guys. And I'm about to get out of here soon, so drop your comments, and make sure you guys hit subscribe. more boxing videos will be on the way. All right, I'll do these every so often. All right, but if the demand for them are kind of high, then I'll try to make them more at a better timely, more often. All right, peace.